What's the best way to win an election? Campaign well, govern better. But what if you fail to do that for 20 years? Then you look for distractions. Just ask the president of Turkey, Recep Tayyip Erdogan, or should I say Türkiye. He has been leading this country for 20 years, first as prime minister, then as president. But in June next year, Erdogan faces a stiff challenge because 2023 is election year and Erdogan wants another term in office. Just one problem though. His track record is pathetic. Take a look at these numbers. Erdogan's current term began in 2018. Back then, $1 was worth around 4 liras. Now, $1 equals 17 liras, more than 4 times higher. What about inflation? Even worse. In the month of May, inflation topped 73%, the highest in 23 years. Unemployment is almost at 12%. Foreign trade deficit is up 98.5%. In simple words, it's a full-blown economic crisis. Nonetheless, Erdogan is pushing on. This Thursday, he announced his candidacy for 2023.
The candidate of the Cumhur Alliance should be announced. Here I say the candidate of the Cumhur Alliance is Tayyip Erdogan.
Full marks for confidence. But how does Erdogan plan to get re-elected? If he campaigns on economy, his own staff may not vote for him. So what does Erdogan do? Campaign on distractions. He's already announced 2 of them. First is the operation in Syria. Erdogan is planning to send Turkish soldiers into northern Syria. His plan is to create a 30-kilometer buffer zone. How will he do that? By driving away Kurdish fighters in the region. Now, both Russia and the US have criticized this plan, both for different reasons. The US because Kurdish fighters are their allies against ISIS, and Russia because they support the Assad regime in Damascus. But Erdogan does not care because he has leverage over both. The US needs Erdogan's support to admit Finland and Sweden into NATO. Russia needs Erdogan as a mediator in Ukraine. So Turkey is counting on that leverage. But will it be enough? Kurdish fighters are planning to coordinate with the Syrian army, basically fight the bigger fish. Also this week, Syria and Russia held joint aerial drills. They have bolstered their presence in northern Syria. What do all these developments mean? A brewing conflict. If Syria is attacked, Putin cannot stand by and watch. If Turkey is attacked, NATO cannot stand by and watch. And the sad part? This too is a pointless war. It is not about strategy. It is not about security. It is about one man's political ambitions. Because fighting the Kurds is a populist move in Turkey. Erdogan's nationalist voters will love it. Which brings us to distraction number 2, the new name. Turkey is now called Türkiye. Doesn't exactly roll off the tongue. So why would Erdogan do it? Because Türkiye bolsters the nationalist cause. The history goes back to 1923. The new Turkish nation was born after World War I, and that's when the name Türkiye emerged. And Erdogan is not the first leader to try this change. In the mid-1980s, an effort was made, but the campaign fizzled out. This time, though, Erdogan has got it done. Turkey has become Türkiye. Does it solve higher inflation, though? No, it does not. Does it bolster the lira? No, it does not. But it could help his chances in 2023, and I'll tell you why. Turkish voters can be broadly split into 2 categories. 1, the conservative voters. They mostly live in the Turkish countryside. And 2, the progressive voters. They reside in the big cities. Erdogan's vote bank is the first category, the conservative rural voters. I'm talking about farmers, restaurant staff, gas station workers, fishermen. These people are Erdogan's biggest vote bank, and right now they're struggling. Inflation is eating into their savings, and chances are it will get worse because Erdogan does not believe in logic. He defies it. You see, when inflation rises, central banks hike interest rates. They discourage lending. Erdogan is doing the exact opposite. He has forced the Turkish central bank to reduce interest rates, or at least keep them steady. Now, I know what you're thinking. Aren't central banks independent? Well, in most democracies, yes, they are. But in Erdogan's Turkey, no, they're not. The president has fired 3 central bank governors since 2018. The current one is the 4th. So the message is quite simple. Do what I say, or you're fired. The senseless economic policy could hurt him next year, which brings us to his challengers. Who will take on Erdogan in 2023? The opposition alliance is yet to announce their candidate, but 3 names stand out. Kemal Kılıçdaroğlu. He is the leader of the CHP, the Republican People's Party. His big plus point, he's an economist. Another contender is this man, Ekrem İmamoğlu. He is serving as the mayor of Istanbul. It's a very powerful position in Turkey. Erdogan himself was once the mayor of Istanbul. And finally, Mansur Yavaş. He's currently serving as the mayor of Turkey's capital, Ankara. All three have a good chance of winning because Erdogan has failed on all counts. He promised prosperity to the working class, he failed. He promised Islamic world dominance to nationalists, he failed. Which leaves Erdogan with two options. One is distractions, and if that fails, an attack on democracy. That's another worry for Turkey. Erdogan could simply ban opposition parties or disqualify certain candidates. You see, leaders like Erdogan are always dangerous. But do you know when they are most dangerous? When they sense that they are vulnerable. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.